Welcome to Cape Town News. Today is Sunday, the 6th of July 2025, and in case you missed it, here's a recap of the top stories that made headlines in the Western Cape this past week. Western Cape residents are bracing for another icy onslaught this week, as the South African Weather Service warns of 2 incoming cold fronts following a short reprieve from stormy conditions. The yellow level 1 weather warning, previously active over the weekend, has now lifted, but forecasters caution that isolated to scattered rainfall will resume from Wednesday and intensify into the weekend. Joe Malebane from the South African Weather Service confirmed on Sunday that light rain will persist until Tuesday, with a more aggressive system pushing into the region from midweek. A second cold front is expected to arrive by Friday evening, bringing widespread showers to the Western Cape and the Namakwa district in the Northern Cape. The City of Cape Town's Disaster Risk Management Centre has reported no significant incidents thus far, but remains on high alert. NGOs such as Gift of the Givers have already mobilised in response to informal settlement fires and weather-related displacement, providing meals, water and blankets in Khayelitsha and Silverton. Meanwhile, 7 fire stations across the city remain open as 24/7 drop-off zones for food, hygiene products and winter essentials. Cape Townians can also contact the city's emergency services at 0214807700 or donate via Disaster DT donations at capetown.gov.za. An urgent manhunt is underway after 1-week-old Mogamat Imaad Sharmar was abducted from Interdict Mall in Bellville on Saturday. The suspect, known only as Chivon, reportedly befriended the young mother during her pregnancy, posing as a representative from a support organisation for new mothers. According to the Western Cape Missing Persons Unit, the suspect took the mother for a meal, during which the woman fell ill and went to the bathroom. When she returned, both the woman and her baby were gone. Baby Sharmar was last seen in a white vest and car-themed crawler, wrapped in a blue blanket. Warrant Officer Joseph Swartboy confirmed that Bellville's Family Violence, Child Protection and Sexual Offences Unit is investigating a case of kidnapping. Authorities are urging anyone with information to contact Crime Stop on 0860010111 immediately. Social media has since been flooded with missing child posters as the family pleads for the safe return of their newborn son. Police Minister Senzo Mchunu has ordered an intensified response to a weekend of bloodshed across the Cape Flats, calling the situation the killing fields of the Western Cape. A specialized SAPS unit has now been activated following a series of mass shootings that left at least 13 people dead in Nyanga, Gugulethu, Browns Farm, Philippi and Samora Machel. In the worst of the incidents, 7 men were ambushed and gunned down while socializing in a kitchen in Kanana informal settlement, Gugulethu. Hours later, 2 more men were killed in Nyanga. Last Friday, 3 people were shot dead during a hijacking near Sheffield and Moonwood Roads in Browns Farm. Earlier in the week, 3 bodies were found dumped in C-section Samora Machel. Police confirmed all investigations are ongoing, with the Serious and Violent Crimes Unit deployed to track suspects. Minister Mchunu stressed that these attacks cannot be addressed with normal methods and called for an aggressive and targeted response. "We do not have a choice. The police must protect life and limb, with no resources spared," he said. Strained diplomatic ties between South Africa and Ireland continue as the Irish government defends its controversial visa requirements for South African travellers. Introduced in 2024, the policy has ended decades of visa-free travel, frustrated families and disrupting business ties. Irish Minister of State Neil Richmond acknowledged the emotional toll, especially for grandparents barred from visiting their grandchildren. Yet he insisted the measure is necessary to curb asylum claims and align with UK visa policy. Despite the fallout, there are some improvements. Processing times have been reduced from 16 to just 4 to 6 weeks, and staff at the Irish Embassy in South Africa has doubled. Trade remains strong, worth over €714 million, with more than 12,500 jobs created in South Africa by Irish firms. Enterprise Ireland's Cape Town office, the only one in sub-Saharan Africa, continues to advocate for improved travel ties. While visa waivers seem unlikely soon, Richmond hinted at streamlining processes, saying a unified work permit and visa application system is being considered. Until then, South Africans are urged to plan ahead, as both nations navigate the balance between security and long-standing people-to-people connections. In a heartwarming turn of events, baby Mogamat Imaad Sharmar has been safely returned to his family after being kidnapped from Middestad Mall in Bellville last Saturday. Cape Town News first reported on the abduction in Monday's bulletin. On Monday night, police located the 12-day-old baby in a home on Honolulu Street in Tafelsig, Mitchell's Plain, and arrested a 37-year-old woman believed to be responsible. The arrest was the result of an intensive investigation led by the Provincial Organised Crime Unit, supported by Crime Intelligence and the Bellville Family Violence, Child Protection and Sexual Offences Unit. The team acted swiftly on information gathered over 2 days and recovered the infant unharmed. At their home in Stromfontein, the family gathered in joy. The baby's mother, Imaad Sharmar, expressed her overwhelming relief, saying she could not stop holding him. He was reportedly found wearing the same vest he had on the day of the abduction, though dressed in new clothes bought by the suspect. Police revealed that the woman had befriended the mother during her pregnancy, claiming to be from a support organization for young mothers. She lured the mother away under the pretense of a meal, then vanished with the baby. The accused is expected to appear in the Bellville Magistrates' Court. Investigations continue. A long legal battle over housing in Belhar came to a close this week, as Cape Town Mayor Jordan Hill-Lewis officially handed over keys to rightful beneficiaries of the Belhar Pentec housing development. The milestone follows a 4-year court process to evict unlawful occupants who had hijacked several units in 2021, just hours before the scheduled handover. The 44.2 million rand-breaking new ground project includes 340 state-subsidized homes. So far, 332 units have been handed over. 8 homes remain tied up in legal proceedings after initial eviction orders were delayed and later appealed. Among those celebrating were elderly residents like Carol and Uncle Errol, who described receiving their keys as the end of years of hardship. The mayor acknowledged the emotional impact, stating, "The legal system allowed a grave injustice to persist, but today we honor the rightful owners." The city confirmed that housing kits were offered to the evicted, who had previously been living in homes nearby. Councillor Karl Popheim, Mako member for Human Settlements, urged communities to report illegal occupations and support safer neighbourhoods. The Western Cape government has launched a targeted public safety initiative in Bergrivier municipality by appointing 20 new peace officers and traffic wardens through its accredited Law Enforcement Advancement Plan, LEAP. The appointments were announced on Monday, 1st of July, during an official event at the Bergrivier Town Hall, with Western Cape Minister of Cultural Affairs and Sport, Henri Murray, in attendance. The programme, a joint effort between the Department of Community Safety and the municipality, aims to increase law enforcement presence in rural towns like Piketberg, Veltrif and Porterville. The newly deployed officers have undergone full peace officer training, which empowers them to issue fines, arrest suspects and manage traffic violations. Minister Moraes praised the collaboration, saying it directly supports the Western Cape's safety plan to halve violent crime. Local leaders echoed the sentiment, calling the appointments a game changer for community safety. Funded through the Community Safety Implementation Fund, the officers will now work closely with SAPs and community policing forums. Their presence is expected to not only improve law enforcement visibility, but also build stronger trust between Cape Townians and safety authorities. The City of Cape Town has secured an urgent interim interdict from the Western Cape High Court to clamp down on a wave of extortion that's targeting a My City infrastructure project in Philippi. The ruling, granted earlier this week, prevents identified individuals from entering or interfering with a major construction site on Stock Road. The project, worth 42 million rand, is intended to support the rollout of Phase 2A of the My City bus network and was already delayed last year due to similar threats. According to the city, criminal groups have demanded protection fees and disrupted work sites. Mayoral Committee member for Urban Mobility, Rob Quintus, warned that these actions jeopardize job creation and infrastructure development in vulnerable communities. He confirmed that additional security will be deployed and court action will continue if threats persist. The city has made it clear that it will not tolerate any interference and that it is working closely with SAPS to enforce the court order. Cape Townians are being urged to report extortion attempts at work sites via the city's toll-free hotline. Cape Town's Disaster Risk Management Centre is on high alert as the South African Weather Service issues a yellow level 4 warning for disruptive rainfall from Friday through to Sunday, the 6th of July. The warning comes as cold fronts and strong onshore winds threaten to bring widespread rain and localized flooding to the metro and surrounding areas. Disaster Risk Management spokesperson Sonica Latigan says sandbags are being distributed in flood-prone zones, while emergency shelters are also being prepared. She urged Cape Townians to report blocked drains and inspect their properties to prevent damage. Mayoral Committee member J.P. Smith echoed this call, reminding the public to reduce unnecessary pressure on emergency teams during wet spells, especially when it comes to avoidable vehicle crashes. NGO partners are also stepping in to provide humanitarian relief. Drop-off points have been established at fire stations across the metro, including Constantia, Wynberg, Rowland Street, Lakeside and Goodwood. The city is appealing for donations of warm clothes, tinned food, baby formula and sanitary products to support communities at risk. As the storm approaches, authorities are calling for vigilance, kindness and calm. A bloody wave of gang violence swept through Mitchell's Plain on Thursday, claiming 5 lives and injuring 7 more in a series of shootings across Beacon Valley, Tafelsig and the town centre. The initial shooting took place inside a tuck shop shortly after midday, where 2 people were killed and 3 wounded. Moments later, a second tuck shop nearby became the scene of another fatal attack. Additional incidents were later reported in Tafelsig and town centre, each resulting in a death. Police have launched a manhunt and confirmed that all cases are being treated as gang-related. Brigadier Novella Potelwa stated that the anti-gang unit has now taken over the investigation. She stressed that law enforcement has deployed extra units to stabilize the area. This latest eruption of violence has left Cape Townians reeling and reignited urgent calls for deeper interventions to break the cycle of crime gripping the area. Cape Town's most wanted murder suspect, Vuyolwethu Yesu Chukela, failed to appear in the Athlone Magistrates Court on Thursday, raising fresh concerns over the handling of his detention. Chukela, initially arrested in Welcome, faces 18 charges including murder, kidnapping, arson, robbery and attempted murder. 14 of these were added just days ago. Although scheduled to appear in court, officials revealed he had been transferred from Polesmoor to a secure facility for safety reasons. The court, however, had not been properly informed. Magistrate Keith Lecour issued a J7 warrant for his appearance and slammed correctional services for procedural lapses. The suspect's bail application has been abandoned, although this has not been officially confirmed. Chukela has become a high-profile figure linked to multiple gang-related killings in Cape Town's public transport and extortion underworld. The state has indicated that more charges may follow as investigations continue. The matter has been postponed until the 7th of July to allow authorities to secure his attendance and finalize additional documentation. The case is likely to be transferred to a higher court due to its severity. Ladles of Love, one of Cape Town's most impactful hunger relief organizations, is gearing up for a monumental Mandela Day event on Friday, the 18th of July. More than 12,000 volunteers are expected at DHL Stadium, where they'll build toys, color in educational posters, pack dry ingredients for soup, and paint messages of hope for children across the Western Cape. Founded by Danny Diliberto, the organization has served over 48 million meals since 2020 and currently supports 70 early childhood development centers, 50 of which are in the Western Cape. This year's Mandela Day will feature a large-scale interactive artwork created by muralist Hans Bruchel, where volunteers can add handprints and write personalized messages. Volunteers can also craft garden kits to promote food sustainability and pack buckets of nutritious groceries for families in need. Yolande Jones, the organization's program director, said each 2-hour shift at activation stations allows Cape Townians to give back in a tangible and creative way. Participation costs 250 Rand and supports 2 meals a day for a child for an entire month. Bookings can be made at www.ladlesoflove.org.za, with options available for both individuals and corporates. A chilly Monday awaits the Western Cape, with Cape Town expected to peak at just 15 degrees Celsius. Paarl will reach 16 degrees Celsius, while Stellenbosch sits slightly lower at 14 degrees Celsius. Winds will blow from the southeast at 20 to 30 kilometers per hour, bringing a crisp bite throughout the day. Coastal regions face light cloud cover and isolated showers near Plettenberg Bay and George. Ocean swell remains moderate, around 2.1 to 2.4 meters, with a swell period of 12 seconds. High tide hits at 1:18 a.m. and 1:45 p.m., while low tide is forecast for 7:37 a.m. and 8:03 p.m. Sunrise will brighten skies at 7:47 a.m., and sunset draws the day to a close at 5:46 p.m. With UV levels remaining low to moderate, bundle up and keep warm as winter continues its grip on the Cape. With that, we wrap up this week's recap, and now you know what's happening in the mother city. Thank you for watching Cape Town News. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a story. We appreciate your support. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget, the next bulletin drops tomorrow at 12 noon on YouTube. Meanwhile, stay safe, informed, and connected.